First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Finna be there. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You next in line. This was your next in line.
Is there like a
The last question, guys.
is there like a love-hate for Floyd? Like, you love
Yeah.
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad.
Oh, you're good, man.
And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always
Floyd Mayweather has shared his thoughts on the rematch between Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Lamont Roach. Mayweather expressed his disappointment with Tank's performance in their first fight, saying Tank didn't perform well and suggesting that he should have avoided the rematch. In response, Tank accused Mayweather of being too focused on himself and not recognizing the success of other fighters. Tank believes that Mayweather's reluctance to support the rematch is rooted in jealousy and a desire to stay in the spotlight.
Devontae said, "I'm not signed to a single soul." So is Tank now a free agent, or is he still signed with Mayweather Promotions?
Well, this is the Mayweather Deji press conference. So I'm here to talk about Dubai. I'm here to talk about entertaining the people, having fun. And I'm not here to talk disrespectful or bad about any fighter. You know, they say America is the land of the free. You know, so we live, we love, and we keep striving each and every day. That's what life is about.
Gervonta Davis's decision to leave Mayweather Promotions caused a lot of controversy. His departure was marked by public arguments and disagreements with Floyd Mayweather, showing how different their views were on managing Davis's career. This fallout highlighted the challenges athletes face when choosing between personal independence and the support of well-known figures in the sport.
On saying, hey, this is my career, you had yours, I respect you from buying me a chain, buying me this, buying me that, take me on a jet. All that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm only going by his interview. You seen it and I seen it. Thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for all the things you gave me. If the intentions was you just looking out for me. But I got an opportunity to fight this big fight. And this soap opera between you and Oscar for all these years, I'm not gonna let it affect me. That's my interpretation. And Tank wants to do the fight, but he had to break away from the chains of somebody he still respects and respected then. And he said, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. This is my career.
Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins recently shared his opinion on Gervonta Davis's career. Hopkins believes that Davis needed to break free from the control that Floyd Mayweather Promotions had over him. According to Hopkins, Mayweather's control was limiting Davis's growth and potential. By leaving Mayweather Promotions, Davis gained the freedom to make his own choices about his fights, including whether or not to go for a rematch with Lamont Roach. Hopkins feels that this newfound freedom will help Davis make decisions based on what he wants, not what others pressure him to do.
Because I don't know what the just happened. You're a referee. You should have seen what's going on. Why I would have, if I'm in the corner, I'm erratic in between rounds. What was your feeling in between rounds when you seen that?
It was going off. My assistant coach, Ben Johnson, he was going off on him. Like, hey, Steve, the wrong with you? He was cursing him out and everything. He was like, that was a knockdown.
Yeah,
he just stood off and waved us off, and he was like,
yeah, because for me, one person would have been having to deal with Lamont, and the other would have been the whole 60
that's how it was. I was dealing with him, and my man Ben was dealing with the rough.
Right.
We got his attention along with the low blows as well. I was like, how many blows you gonna let us hit us with?
Right.
Take a point. And then he finally warned him like in the 11th round.
That's crazy. Is there anybody in boxing media or media in general, because nobody picked you guys to win at all. Nobody. I mean, I seen you guys go on promotional tours from whether it was boxing podcast to the Breakfast Club. Nobody picked you guys to win. Like, when you get a second, you grab me a water. Sorry. And is it anybody that you got, I know because it's more than one person, but is it anybody, thank you, that you took personal out of all the interviews that you did? Is it one or two people or three people that you be like, this right here, anybody else, but I want to prove this one person wrong?
It's not necessarily that I wanted to prove them wrong, so I wanted everybody to shut the fuck up, for real.
Yeah.
Like, but
The first fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach was full of controversy, especially regarding the referee's decisions. Referee Steve Willis faced heavy criticism for not awarding points to Roach at crucial moments in the fight. Many believe that the referee's actions unfairly affected the outcome, leading to a disputed draw. After the fight, Davis challenged his critics, offering to settle things with a rematch. He was eager to prove himself again in the ring and clear up any doubts about his abilities. The controversy surrounding the first fight created the perfect chance for a rematch, which Davis was ready to accept to show his dominance.
We got to talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already known, but the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haneys, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Gervonta Davis is eager to set up a rematch with Lamont Roach. After their first fight, Davis felt that his reputation had taken a hit, and he sees this rematch as a chance to prove his skills, settle any unfinished business, and confirm his place as one of the top fighters in the world.
Roach, first of all, you surprised that everybody's wanting to see a rematch between these two because no one expected it to be a close fight in the first place.
That much is true. And me, myself, I mean, I'm a big Tank fan. And I was shocked. At the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I had Roach winning the fight.
Do you consider robbery, or do you lean Roach and are cool with the draw?
I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave Roach the fight.
All right. Well, talking about this rematch, what do you? I mean, so the one thing Tank always had for him, everyone, he had that kind of almost like Mike Tyson-esque, right? The air of invincibility, the knockout power. People were scared of him, that kind of thing. Do you think what Roach did to him, moving up in weight, and not being a big puncher himself, but able to withstand Tank, that kind of his air of invincibility has maybe been slightly diminished?
I won't say it's been diminished, but I do think that more people, more fighters that probably were afraid of him are not going to be afraid of him anymore.
And do you think that's almost something that could play in Tank's hand, right? Maybe we had an off day, everybody has an off day, and take him.
Yeah, everybody can have off night, but I think the one thing that is the most important thing that nobody's talking about is the fact that
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's father, expressed surprise at how the first fight between Davis and Roach ended. While he admitted he was shocked by the outcome, he made it clear that he's a big fan of Davis and didn't think the result was a complete robbery. However, Jeff acknowledged that Roach's strong performance did affect Davis's reputation. Many fighters who once feared Davis now feel more confident about facing him in the future.
The good rumor is that Gervonta Davis and Lamont Rematch are going to be rematching possibly June 21st in Las Vegas. I don't know if Vegas just wanted to fight off the publicity, especially with Turkey taking a lot of fights over to Riyadh, or they didn't want to return back to New York State Athletic Commission after they did Lamont Roach dirty. But Lamont said the terms were already agreed on for a rematch. He just had to sign it, so it seemed like, it's going to be this Vegas summer blockbuster. It's probably going to be the biggest fight of the year as far as in the United States. So it'll be interesting. Nevada State Athletic Commission don't play, but we'll see how it goes.
The rematch will take place in Las Vegas, a city with a rich boxing history, despite some fans hoping for a fight in Saudi Arabia, where Davis has fought before. The June rematch has sparked global excitement among boxing fans.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So.
Did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's gonna be the same fighter throughout his career.
Shakur Stevenson, another top lightweight boxer, weighed in on the rematch. Stevenson, who has sparred with Lamont Roach in the past, believes Roach could have the upper hand in the second fight. He praised Roach's unique boxing style, which he felt was different from anything Davis had faced before.
Obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then right after I hit him with the jab, you can see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you could see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So,
right. But you say you don't think he willing though.
Yeah, whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Spit fucking around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
Take
ref.
no time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops, it's a no?
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Yeah. You know how many Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though. The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance, like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight.
Lamont Roach has been vocal about his issues with the officiating during his first fight against Gervonta Davis. Roach has repeatedly stated that referee Steve Willis made several mistakes during the fight, including failing to award points to him at crucial moments. Roach feels that Willis's decisions were biased and played a major role in how the fight ended.
Saying that he won the fight, you know what I mean? You know, and then that when he took that knee, that really was supposed to be a disqualification. You know what I mean? And then you can't go to the corner and get your eyes wipe, you know what I mean, with a towel and all that. You know what I mean? Anybody else would have got disqualified. Or getting points taken away. Some, you know what I mean? So, other than that, you know what I mean, that's where I look at it.
As far as game plans go, how should Gervonta Davis approach this fight?
I think something might have been on Tank mind. You know what I mean? Because he didn't fight the way he normally fight. To me. I mean, that's the way it looked to me. You know what I mean? He looked like something was on his mind. He was worrying about something. I mean, but he still fought good, though. You know what I mean? But like he normally did. You know what I mean?
If you're Lamont, do you press the action early or do you do exactly what you did in the first fight? Whereas they'll press him after round 6, round 7, round 8.
I think he needs to press the fight more and stay busy. You know what I mean? You know, because he looked good. Like I said, both of them look good. You know what I mean? Can't take that away from either one of them. That was a beautiful fight, man.
Should the rematch happen next, or should Tank maybe take a Shakur or a Lomachenko?
You said Tank?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if it don't happen next, you know what I mean? If it don't happen next, Lamont gonna wind up fighting.
Bozy Ennis, the father and trainer of rising star Jaron Boots Ennis, also shares thoughts on the first Davis versus Roach fight. Ennis believed that Davis should have been disqualified for an illegal knee during the fight, but the system worked in his favor, giving him an advantage. Ennis pointed out that the referees seemed to favor Davis, which, in his opinion, led to an unfair result.
I think Tank wins in the rematch. Why? I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns the market back out.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know what, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight, he'll get a third.
Mikey Garcia, a former world champion, also weighed in on the upcoming rematch. Garcia believes that Davis will make adjustments this time around and avoid the mistakes he made during the first fight. He's confident that Davis's ability to learn from his past performances will give him the edge. However, Garcia also warned that if Davis is dealing with mental distractions or isn't fully focused, he should avoid stepping into the ring until he's completely ready.
I really don't know. Anything can happen, man. You know, possibility. Possibility. I would love to see a rematch, but it may happen, it may not. You know, life goes on. You know, life goes on.
What would you say if how would you feel like the media would per se see it if the fight wasn't to happen?
50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50-50.
You would have people that wouldn't care, people that would care.
Yeah, just like this. Some people say Lamont won, some people say Tank won, you know?
Coach Kenny Ellis, who has worked with several well-known boxers, shared his thoughts on the rematch. Ellis wasn't overly confident about Davis's chances, stating that if the rematch were to happen, it would be a 50-50 fight. He acknowledged that both fighters have strengths and weaknesses, and the outcome of the rematch would depend largely on how each boxer adapts to the other's style.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're gonna be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
Teofimo Lopez, another well-known figure in boxing, discussed the aftermath of the Davis versus Roach fight. Lopez pointed out that after the controversial draw, Davis found himself isolated, with many questioning his standing in the boxing world. This result led to increased criticism of Davis's career, and some fans and analysts began doubting his abilities. Lopez believed the controversy left Davis in a vulnerable position, with his reputation and status as a top fighter on the line. The pressure was on for Davis as he prepared for the rematch, with fans eager to see if he could bounce back and prove his worth in the ring. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.